Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I was so interested in the previous talks by Chris and Grete that I might have forgotten a lot of what I have to say today, but we'll manage to go through. And why I'm super excited is because I'm talking about a topic that I'm really passionate about, which is balancing creativity and business, and the power of EVP, like how we use EVP in that. But also a lot on creative strategy and what that means, also what that means to me in the work that I'm doing. In the end, creativity and business, they are partners. A lot of people think that they, are apart from each other, but in the end, they are partners. And the trick is how to bridge them. And that bridge in employer branding can definitely be the creative strategy and the EVP. That's why we're talking about the power of EVP. So let's get this party started. And a bit about me. I put this slide a bit to kind of prove, why I'm here, why I'm talking to you. But essentially, it was to also bring you my background on business and creative. In terms of academics and also employer branding experiences. So I've always been working in employer branding. Before I was working in Glovo, based in Barcelona. Now working in Revolut, also based in Barcelona, but working remotely. And I'll bring a lot of cases from Revolut here. So I'll be kind of talking in a general topic, but also backing up with some Revolut cool cases. And I will talk about, what creative strategy is and what it means to me, why it matters in employer branding, as I said, the role of EVP in all of that, and the case of Revolut, talking about storytelling, why is that also important in employer branding, obviously some key takeaways. And I was brainstorming, when I was suggesting my topic, I was brainstorming what I want to talk about. There's so much I want to talk about and so much we can cover in employer branding. But I want to talk about creative strategy. And I sat down brainstorming, what does that even mean? ChatGPT, what does that mean for you? We were kind of brainstorming together there. But it was a lot of what I was already, already had in mind and why I use this term even before, actually putting on paper what does that mean, is as I said, the bridge. It's bringing the intention to the execution. It is proving to the business why creativity matters. It is proving to the business that with creative means we can achieve our goals. And with the EVP, we can structure this. We can put this as a North Star for us in employer branding, and will help us achieving our goals, being more effective in what we're doing, and still proving to the business that this matters. So here I could definitely amend Grete and Chris' talks. I think they did an exceptional job talking about this as well, like how all the creative part brings results and how you're doing this in employer branding. People like to use, fluff and this kind of words to talk about either in the business they say this is fluff for your creative work, or in creative work we say this is no fluff to prove something to the business. In the end, it's a real discipline. So creative strategy, it's not fluff in terms of it can be a concept that sometimes is you cannot see sometimes, like the result, or is not really tangible. It's intangible, I would say. But the objective and the meaningful ideas are the results of the creative strategy. So it's not the decoration, it's the direction. It's not only nice words on the wall, it's not only nice visuals, it's not only nice videos and things on social media. It is based by something specific, and this is our strategy. This matters in employer branding. In employer branding, we use it a lot because, as I said, business often thinks creativity is fluff. Employer branding is not only about pretty visuals, and it's about choosing the messages and telling them in resonant ways. So in employer branding, we take the messages, we take ideas, and we we find ways to talk to the people, to talk to the audience, to make it relevant, and telling the story will achieve those end goals. Like, what are those key messages? What are we doing? How are we getting there? And there's so much we can do. And in the end, it's like getting shit done in a way. And I will also give a disclaimer. I just remember what Grete said about like not overthinking. And I will also put this a lot into here because, yes, it can be a process, and I'll talk about it. But if it is there, if you're trained with it, it's easy for you to use, right? Because the core challenge is that sometimes we have a lot of ideas, and great ideas itself, they're not enough. You can have 100 ideas, and oh, it was supposed to be different, so it's not like 100 ideas equals different goals. 100 ideas are different. Well, I don't know what does it mean, but it was supposed to be different. The meaning is 100 ideas can have 100 different goals as well. You can have 100 ideas for one specific goals. You can have 100 ideas for 100 goals. You can have one idea for 100 goals. So whenever we are defining a project, whether it's content, whether it's events, whatever it is in employer branding, we do need to first start with the right questions. Start asking, zooming out and start asking, what do I want to achieve with this? What is the end goal? And then I will come with the creative, right? So asking the right questions, asking, what do I want to achieve? Who am I talking to? What is the audience? Choosing the angle that I want to talk about it, right? What is the one audience with one specific angle can result into one thing. Another audience with the same angle can result into different things. So in the end, we have to think about like all the small pieces so we can bring it together in a way that will make sense, and then you will have the results from it. And then we create. So finally we get to create, we get to brainstorm and have crazy ideas and check other people's website and other people's social media, other companies, to see what they are doing, but most importantly, what is not there, so I can do that. As I said, right, here I got mixed with the equals and non-equals, sorry, in the copy, but in the end, the idea is like the great ideas, they sometimes are not effective if we don't have a North Star, if we don't know what we're going or what we want to achieve with this. I want to bring more practical examples in a bit, so it's a bit more clear, but for instance, before I was talking about audience and different angles. In Revolut, we not only have the employer branding team, but we also have talent programs team. Val is here, she's part of the talent program team. So we did recently separated both teams. So one team for the core employer branding and one team only to talk about talent programs. Not only to talk about it as in employer branding, but actually building the programs. We have recruitment within it and everything related to this program. So we did separate this. And for example, choosing your audience could mean I'm talking to grads and interns, and I want to talk about, I have a data, for example, 70% of interns become grads after their internship program. And obviously, this sounds like really good results, right? How am I telling this to people? Instead of going there and announcing like we had 70% of interns coming here and going from internship to grad students, we're actually sharing those stories. We're telling the stories of those people. We're bringing them to the conversation. We're creating a narrative around it, and that we have this base. I'm not only saying like, hey, people actually stay here, they stay from internship to grad, but I have this data to back up the creative part. And yeah, so values and EVP are not like just nice words. They will help us bring building the strategy. They bring consistency and clarity. It's very important to bring also the consistency, so we We make sure those messages are heard. One person is not only checking one of your content pieces, they will, or if they are, they don't have the context. So in the end, we have to understand how people will perceive the type of context. That's why those questions matter. And so the EVP really will be the strategic base, and it will guide all directions internally and externally. It's also not only the messages we're bringing to the world, but it's also the messages we have internally, the experience we have internally, what employees are really experiencing, and then we can use this, we can leverage this to attract even more top talent. Yeah, so it's a bit of a direction, and my experience building EVP brought me so many insights, and it's a very interesting project, because not only you see how much is involved in it, or how much you can involve in it, not only creating the key messages, not only putting them everywhere, sharing them everywhere. Of course, this is a very exciting part, but it's also understanding the gaps, is understanding the experience we have currently, and what the vision is, what also leadership wants. So you in employer branding, you have to always manage expectations from everyone, right? But in the end, filling those gaps from what is the actual experience, where we want to be, where we are now, who do we want to bring to fill those gaps. So there's a lot of also organic work involved. But in a way, it's identifying the gaps. We are aligning vision and reality. We are understanding where can we go. We are updating processes, so not only we are using those messages to create new things, to bring new ideas, to build new strategies, we are updating everything that we have as well. Like, as we go, it doesn't have to be super complex process, but you do have to fill in those gaps. You cannot be communicating something externally that internally is not being taken care of. So adding your EVP and working together with your internal teams, like for example, internal communications, every talent team, to add this to their processes as well, and to have a more consistent strategy within your company. So it's a system, and I want to bring a few examples from Revolut. Now I'm in Revolut. I really love working there. It's a very unusual employer branding team. We're 10 people plus the talent programs team, which is like plus 10 people, I don't know. But basically, it's big teams. We have employer branding managers. We have creative people inside. We have designers and videographers as well. So it's a bit of unusual. Before, I was alone. So it's a very different experience being by yourself and then having 10 people and a more structured base gives you a lot of room also to learn. But I love some Revolut examples, and disclaimer, not only me working on all of this, right? Like as I said, we have 10 people, and we all work together in all those projects. But for me, are a few examples of the EVP done the right way, and very good class in storytelling. I think now I have a video, so I'll try to manage that correctly. But it's one of the examples that I want to share with you about, taking EVP and key messages and bringing it to kind of resonate to your audience in different formats and with different angles as well.
Hi, I'm Alex with Revolut Insider, and in this series, we'll uncover the stories and experiences of team members from around the world, highlighting how their diverse talent and creativity embody the culture and values that define Revolut.
Surprisingly enough, we were able to merge very easily because it's full of international people, lots of expats.
Joining Revolut to that community was a great move.
These are the things that actually drives me. this and results like as well. I mean, I love to see results of the work that I'm doing.
Doesn't matter if it's a job or if it's a game, you just want to do the best, and be the best.
Today we're in Poland, a country with a storied historical past that's become a beacon for innovation and a growing tech powerhouse in Europe. And at the heart of it all lies a city known for its medieval charm, buzzing energy, and thriving tech scene. Welcome to Krakow.
Okay, yeah, so we don't have to watch a 20-minute video, but just for you to have a glimpse of another, like a kind of refreshing format that we have. It's the campaign that we're building, Revoluters around the world. My team is doing kind of a world tour, which is very exciting for them. Right now they're in London shooting a new episode and soon in different places. So maybe somehow we can share with you the link later for you to watch if you want. But for me, this is a really good example because it takes the concept of Revolut being a global company, remote, and having hubs all around the world, to what our EVP is. So bringing, getting those messages from the EVP, that strategy that we have, bringing together, the concept of Revolut being a global company, being everywhere, and telling those stories in a nice way to digest. It's like super interesting. Like when I first saw this video or this campaign, or when they pitched this campaign, I was like, how exciting, because it's like a TV show, it's like a travel show, and I love those kind of things. So it's definitely something interesting to explore. And then we showcase people's stories. We showcase their careers, what they're doing in the cities they're in, how they're adding value to Revolut, but also to their ecosystem. And then we can see, personalities. We see a bit of inside how people interact and what type of people you have inside a company. So definitely a really good example. Another type of example, it's again a bit about audience and the right message and the angle. It's spotting opportunities, not only creating like this huge campaigns where the team has to travel and we have to invest, but also in parallel with that, being spotting the opportunities within your EVP. So for us, for example, we're remote, and flexibility is part of our being remote, and flexibility is part of our EVP. We do spot opportunities to share those messages and to build types of content in a very short format that not only we're telling all those stories, but like we're more quick versions and more I forgot how to call it, bite-sized, bite-sized content. I had to ask ChatGPT to give me a better title there. But yeah, for example, a lot of companies pulling back on remote work, we always spot these opportunities and we take it. Or when sharing news, in this example, we're talking about flexibility and being remote. We just opened a new HQ in London, like a big office, a remote company, like always pushing for remote, like coming up with like this new offices. But in the end, is a way for us to collaborate, and not only we're sharing the news, like, hey, we're opening our new office. Like this week, we opened our office. But we're, instead of announcing something or announcing an event, we're taking our EVP and sharing together with like some exciting news, for example. And this is something I'm also very passionate about. I wanted to bring examples from events. I'm working a lot on events. And in the end, for me, events is creating experiences and building communities, like talking to people. This, for me, works very well when we're working with expansion markets, not only core markets, but this is an example from an event in Brazil that we were talking with engineers and product owners. We brought our team to Brazil. We also have a team in Brazil, but we did this event in a movie theater. We, branded popcorn buckets, and I was so excited to brainstorm on this. But our goal was to talk to the community, of course, attract talent, and hopefully make some hires out of it. But understanding what the market looks like, how can we attract people in the market when I'm there, talking to people, understanding, based on our value proposition and the local reality and what the local talent expects, how can we bring all of this together, and this will help us creating new things. So for me, and why I wanted to bring this example here, and why it works is because we're bringing authentic experiences. The human perspective is still there. Bringing the EVP across roles, across departments, across different audiences and angles, and bringing some things that are fresh and engaging. I feel like nowadays it's a bit hard to come up with like a lot of new, fresh things, and because there's so much going on, and we also always see examples. But in a way, as much as we can, we try to bring this kind of fresh perspectives. And to kind of sum up, in employer branding, and why all of this is important. In employer branding, we work a lot with facts. We bring facts to ways people want to digest. Our culture is a fact, our values are facts, ways of working are a fact. How does employer branding bring this to a way people want to see, people will be interested? And this is I like to say that this is our role in employer branding. It's bringing facts to realities, and that's why storytelling is so important, because we take those facts that no one understand, or as Chris brought here, job descriptions, like why would I even read this? Why would I even see it? And we bring this, like we do it in a way that will add value, will add impact to the work. So instead of complex graphs bringing confusion, we come with a narrative and bring clarity, and that's creative strategy. So I hope I got the idea here, and just to now really wrap up. Yes, I have a few minutes. I wanted to bring an anecdote, because when I was thinking about this topic and why would I want to talk about it, I remembered I'm young, but a lot of years ago in university, it was kind of my second year of university, I was studying business management, and we were doing in this junior enterprise a lot of work with startups. So we would have to go to startups and talk to them and build a strategy to them, or do whatever they wanted us to do, or anything that we could learn from, or they could get some work done, not paying for it. And we were in this really cool company. They were like doing work with drones. So a long time ago, it was like very innovative. Like no one was doing it. And our goal was to like come build this strategy. And we thought it was like, okay, this is gonna like move mountains for you, okay? And we were in the room with them just kind of talking, because they didn't have anything, right? They were like 3 people working like this new startup. So obviously they didn't have anything. They didn't have values or mission or vision. And we were like, okay, if we can do something here, it's like helping you with a structure, with a base. So you can, keep doing the work you're doing, but then you already have something to start off, like a North Star. And okay, vision, mission, fine. But when we mentioned values, this guy was like, yeah, well, I don't want to build something just for you to put up on the walls. And I was like, actually, I remember talking for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't remember what I was saying, but my point was like, I'm not building this for you to put something on the wall. Obviously, we can make it nice, but this will build your structure. If you want to hire more people, you need to know what kind of people you want to hire. If you're bringing new people in, or whatever you're doing, you need to know why you're doing that. And that was my point to him, and I got this kind of personal lesson to everything I do in employer branding. And then the EVP works the same. So one final note is this little story from Alice in Wonderland. She asks, what road do I take? And Kat asks, well, where are you going? I don't know. then doesn't matter if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So as I said in the beginning, creative strategy will build your path and your end goal. So key takeaways, know your goal, build your structure, know your audience, and let creativity flow within that. And then if I can give you some final thought is, we are partners of the business. EVP plus creative strategy equals alignment and impact. And thank you so much for having me here.